Hey guys, it's Alan here at 2 o'clock. Well, 2 o'clock Eastern. I happen to be in Central Time now, but I want to be consistent with my timing so we can kind of have some fun with the 10 at 2 thing. So it's Wednesday, or is it Wednesday? I'm sorry. I'm losing track of my days, man. Today's message actually is about planning to fail versus failing to plan. So that's kind of consistent with what just happened there. Chris and I have been embarking on quite a journey, as you guys know that have been keeping track. That journey has a point and a purpose, but required a lot of planning. So I have oftentimes, for a long time, wanted to be travel. I just wanted to travel. In order to be able to be in a position to travel, as you guys know, you need to figure out a way to earn income while you're doing that, so you can work remotely. Thankfully, with one of the positive things that probably came out of this pandemic was people's comfort zone with those of us who now work remotely. Chris works remotely, I work remotely, but even that took a lot of planning to get to that. Nobody ever plans to fail. I think those of us who have some age behind us and some wisdom now know that through those failures comes a lot of wisdom, comes a lot more preparation. If you pay attention to what's working and what's not working, what wound up, what caused that failure to begin with, the key is to pay attention to it. You almost have to plan to fail, though, I guess is my point. I started a business before, and one of the reasons that business wound up failing was I didn't plan to fail. What did I do wrong? I didn't have the mindset that something could go wrong. But what if something does? You know, I heard a staggering number the other day that while 2 million businesses start each year, 80% of those will be gone within a couple of years. By the time 10-year mark rolls around, only about 5% of those businesses are still going to be around. 5%. And a lot of those might just be surviving, not thriving. So the reality is you have to plan to fail. What does that mean in terms of a relationship? I mean, I'm a relationship coach. In terms of a relationship, what if you looked at your relationship as if it did have the potential to fail? How would you look at it differently? How would you look at your relationship with yourself differently if you knew that you at the end of the day, you are going to be where you're going to be based on the amount of effort, energy, passion, all of this stuff that you put into it? I can tell you this, I wanted to be a coach more than 10 years ago. More than 10 years ago, I had this desire to do this. I did what was safe, just like a lot of people do, and then you find out, well, maybe that safe thing wasn't so safe after all. I worked for corporate America for a number of years. I was in fitness for a number of years. All of those things made me into the person I am today, including the failures along the way. In corporate America, I climbed up pretty high because I have an ability to create teams of people who want to do something. And then collectively we grab each other's hands, we brainstorm, we get it done, and together you're able to achieve such a higher level when you're doing it with a team that buys into the vision and you're doing it together for the right purpose. In my biggest corporate failures, I worked for Best Buy for a number of years. I was an award-winning manager for a big box retailer that was at that time the biggest, baddest retailer in the world. We were expanding and growing, and man, it was so easy to motivate people because all you had to do was let them be a part of something that was big and dynamic, and let them know that if you do your part, you are going to thrive in this amazing environment. What wound up costing that was, while there was a vision at the top of that organization, people were getting promoted based on driving a specific number. So in this example, it was the service plans and accessories and all of those little attachment things. What people don't realize about retail, or maybe they do, the money's not necessarily in the television or the computer or any of that stuff. They make more money selling you the bags or the printer cables or the ink cartridges. That's where all the money's at. And there's nothing wrong with that. When you buy a printer, you probably should pick up a couple of extra ink cartridges. when I started to lose my drive for that was when they start to drive performance. You're trying to cram a 10-foot printer cable down every 80-year-old person that buys a new printer. You don't need a 10-foot gold-plated cable to print the letter that you got from your grandkids. How about taking care of people in the way that they would want to be taken care of, not taking advantage? So in corporate America, I was also a regional sales manager for a retailer, a Verizon retailer, #1 retailer in the country. Very excited to be a part of an organization like that. Very driven. The guy that owned the company was very driven to make it as the best company he could possibly make it. Along the way, he made a lot of mistakes. We do. I mean, everybody makes mistakes. What I realized, guys, in those parts of my life, I was really good at forming teams of people who wanted to win and wanted to perform at a high level and bring that out of them. You can do that as an individual, you can do that as a team, you can do that in any way, but as long as the message and the branding is consistent with something that you can get behind, then absolutely, man, you can get people on board with that. Well, what if in a retail environment the goals keep changing? You tell this person, well, this is what good looks like this month. Well, next month that's different. And I mean, it just what I came to realize, and again, I have a very close friend, Carly, who worked with me at that retailer, and she knows as well that there's no fault in that. You know, there's no fault in having those people at the top that are driving performance and they're looking for more and pushing. It's when they make people feel as if they're expendable at the cost of that. I was being asked to write people up for lack of performance issues, and those same people were getting bonus checks for hitting the goals that the company that they worked for were setting for them. I mean, that's just, at some point you just can't get behind that. So what do you do with that? Well, back then is when I had this vision for wanting to help people. I mean, imagine if you were that employee and you literally wanted to be the best Verizon salesperson you could possibly be. And there's this guy that's got 20 years of experience saying, if you want to be good at this, I can show you how to be good at this. You say this, you do that, you pay attention, you get involved in conversations, you teach them how to do those kinds of things. Think about how rewarding that would be for both that person, because now they're able to provide a better income for their family. You feel good because I was able to help this person help their family. And through that, the wonder that comes from that is now the performance of the region's doing better, the company's doing better, everybody's doing better. I am a people person. I truly want to work with people who want more for themselves. They just have that thing inside of their gut that tells them that they're capable of more. And they just need that wisdom, that guide to help them navigate that journey. I want to be that person who's helping those people do those things. And at the end of the day, that's what I'm building now. I thought about what it is I wanted to do. Took inventory of what I would need in order to make those things happen. And you surround yourself with the right people. You combine all the resources that you need. Guys, it's no different if you're trying to build a business or you're trying to get in touch with who you are. If you're trying to rebuild that connection you have with a partner and that thing is falling away, it all starts with taking inventory about where I'm at, what it is that I truly want. In a partnership kind of a situation, it's having that conversation with your partner, being like, okay, I've done some soul searching. I know this is who I am. I'm curious to know who you are. Like, what drives you? How can I help make some of your dreams come true? Because through the execution of that kind of stuff, that's where the sweet spot is when you're truly helping other people have the greatest experience that they can possibly have. You get to be a part of something that's just wonderful and it's bigger than you. So the point of this message today is, if you're failing to plan, you're actually choosing to fail, if that makes any sense. Because you can't just float around in the world and just think that things are just going to come to you. At the end of the day, if you have a desire, you set a plan, you get the information that you want and need, gather your resources and go that direction. Man, life really is, all of our lives are exactly what we make them out to be. At the end of the day, we got to own the fact that this is where I'm at, this is why I'm here, that is where I want to go. And you shrink that gap. This is who I am. This is what I want. What do I need to get there? The thing that's awesome, guys, is the best advice I was given is you don't always need to reinvent the wheel either. If you want to be a life coach, Tony Robbins is the best life coach on the planet. How about you follow someone like Tony Robbins? If you don't have the content and information, how about you invest in a company that does have the content and the information that you need? You just start gathering those resources. There's a lot of people that are doing that as a side hustle, which I would recommend people do. You can't just quit your job and just dive in deep. Then you're going to create a situation for your family that creates stress, and that's the whole idea, is to not have stress. So it's good talking to you guys. I really enjoy doing this every day. I know it's not very polished, but that's the part I'm working on. I'm hoping it resonates with you guys. Please comment on these and let me know what it is that you'd like to hear some discussion about, and we'll create some content together. Until then, live your best life, man. It will be what you make it. See ya.